Hello, hi, it's Pearl, and this is the Guide to Healing podcast. And if you're watching this, you'll be able to see my enormous Christmas tree, which is still here and still lit up, even though it is getting on for the middle of January. And this episode is all about destination spas and home spas and the differences between. And one of the reasons my Christmas tree is still here is because it really cheers me up through the winter. And my niece was talking about a book she read about how to winter. And in Scandinavia, people keep their lights on, their Christmas lights on for a really long time, much longer than we normally do in England. And I thought, oh, I like that. I'm going to be Scandinavian and keep the Christmas lights on because honestly, I really need it at the moment. It's so dark and glum, and it's not even that late in the day, but it's really dark because it's been raining so hard all day. So it's why my hair is like this because of just getting caught in the rain. And I thought, this is really one of the aspects of going to a destination spa as well. So I've been lucky enough at times in my life to really have been able to go to any spa I wanted to in the world. And because I love spas and I love massage, to really sit down at those times and think, where do I want to go and what do I want to do? Even to looking at places like Ananda in the Himalayas, which is one of the great destination spas in the world. And when we say a destination spa, I think what it really means is just that the spa is the destination in and of itself. Okay. So a lot of times we'll go to an amazing spa because we're on a trip, because it's part of a whole holiday or a journey or something like that. But a destination spa is really like, the whole point of the holiday and the trip is to go and visit that spa. And there are some places in the world that really are worth it. And one of the places I was thinking about, I've actually gone to quite a few of the Mandarin Oriental spas around the world. So I think I've been, and I'd have to check, but I think I've been to the Hong Kong one, which was the first one, which was amazing. Um, and really one of the ones that made me realize that even though, in Hong Kong you can get some really cheap massage, it was worth going to the Mandarin Oriental. And I've also been to the one in London and the one in Miami, which is actually, I think, having works done at the moment, which is it's an amazing place. And I stayed there as well, which was wonderful. And also to the Mandarin Oriental in Las Vegas, which is no longer a Mandarin Oriental because their standards are so high that it actually slipped below their standards, I believe. I might have that wrong, so don't take that as gospel. But I did hear it from somebody, MO, so MO is what we call Mandarin Oriental if you're like, in the know. All right. So the thing about a destination spa is it's not just about going somewhere because the massage is amazing. Obviously you wouldn't go there if it wasn't like really, really, really good. But often when we feel called to a particular place, anything, but in this case a spa, it's because something is calling us there in our heart, something is pulling us. So for example, what I was saying about Scandinavia, it might be that we're feeling the pull to go to an incredible spa in Scandinavia because it's not just the spa, it's the whole culture, So I know when I went to the MO in Hong Kong, that really had some deep, deep healing for me. In fact, I feel like I want to go back and read what I wrote about it because I remember that at the end of the treatment, I was really crying. It was the most amazing treatment, most amazing facilities there as well. But I had also lost a friend that year. And when I had the massage, there was something that really happened in my body and it allowed like a release of emotion. But it was also the thing of somebody taking care of me, somebody looking after me. I think the lady gave me a lovely hug at the end as well, because it was so important to me to be able to let other people look after me and to allow the healing, which in that case was also grieving as well. But something about that wonderful culture in Hong Kong, it just was something that I really, really needed in order to kind of work through a lot of things. And my trip through China, starting in Hong Kong, really, really did do a lot of different things for me. Not least that allowing myself to be healed and to feeling that natural inner wisdom coming through as well, to trusting that I knew what I needed in order to heal. And sometimes a destination spa, we need to do it because of the actual journey of getting there, of how we travel and how we get there. And it's like life, isn't it? Sometimes they always say it's not the destination, it's the journey. Sometimes it's a bit of both. Sometimes it is the destination, especially when you go somewhere really amazing and you think, no, it was all about getting here. It's just super awesome. But sometimes it is about that journey and what we learn along the way, even the people we meet along the way. And then the other side of it is the home spa. Now, it's January, so you might be being bombarded with beauty tips and health tips and things like that. And again, one of the things I've learned, and this actually came from Mandarin Oriental in London, which I went to on my 40th birthday. So it was my birthday present to myself, my 40th. And it was, again, just incredible, amazing massage, amazing facilities, just beyond. But the good thing was I didn't have to travel very far. So I was in London, I went to the one in London. And the lady said to me at the end, she said, you can do most of this at home for yourself. She said, you can just light some candles, get on your bed or your sofa with a really soft blanket or towel, put your dressing gown on, and you can sort of give yourself a foot massage or a hand massage or a facial massage. You can even give yourself a body massage. But she said, so much of this you can just do at home, even if you're having a beautiful bath, or just taking the time to relax and lie down, get a magazine, sit there. And what I find really, particularly at the moment when I'm talking to people, especially if we're going through things or we're stressed, we're not making the time to use the opportunities that are around us. So for example, I go to a great pool to swim, and I swim 3 to 4 times a week because I need it to help me with my migraines. And they have these lovely loungers. They got brand new loungers and they're excellent. And I keep saying I'm going to go and lie down on the lounger by the pool, for 20 minutes. And in a week, I'm lucky if I manage to do it for like 5 minutes, because I always seem to be busy. I've got to be somewhere at a particular time, or even sometimes I'm just feeling so bad. Like on Sunday, I felt so rough. I was like, I don't want to lie down on the lounger. I just want to get home. So I need to put that to the top of my to-do list of actually making the time and doing the things that I know will be relaxing, that will be helpful. Whether it's just lying on my bed and doing like a home treatment, like there's a thing called Pichu that I read about. I think I mentioned it before when I was talking about Shirodhara. So I've done that a few times, with the coconut oil on the face, and it's really nice and relaxing and it's really good. But I need to, it's difficult because not just making time, because yesterday and the day before I was feeling really awful, and I did think about doing it, but honestly, I didn't have it in me to even get up and heat up the coconut oil, even though I just do it very lazily in a pan of warm water. So I don't even, I don't do anything tricky. But even then, it was too much to do. And I think that's so difficult, isn't it? Because we have these beautiful things we can do. I get lovely beauty gifts for my birthday and Christmas. So if I go to my cupboard, I'll have lovely things I can use on my feet and my hands and lovely treatment stuff, but I'm not using it. I'm not doing it because it means taking some time when I feel okay to just stop for half an hour and do those things. And that's what home spa is all about. Really, it is. There are so many things we can use. And most of us really already have those things. We don't necessarily need to go out and buy anything, but it's taking the time to just stop and just give ourselves that grace and give ourselves the time for a treatment, And I think to myself, do you know what? If somebody said to you, look, here's a free spa day, would you make the time to go and do it? If somebody said to you, here's a free £500 spa day, but you've got to do it tomorrow, would you make the time to do it? And I think we all would. But because it's something we can do anytime, we don't make the time, we don't do it. And that's one of those big challenges in life. And it's important to take care of ourselves and to, it's funny when you're on your own and you're doing it because it feels like, hey, I'm looking after myself and doing this. But you've got to remember as well that all these lovely treatments and products, I've got them all by my bed because I use them when I've got a migraine. So there are lots of other people involved in a home spa, or can be. So for example, the people who make the lovely candles that I use. And yet we're not letting those people help us, even though we bought the candle, because we need to make the time to light the candle, or to use the product, or to go and have a bath with the lovely bath salts that we got for Christmas, or the shower stuff. So yeah, this podcast really is about inviting you to realize there's not a huge, I say there's not a huge difference between a destination spa treatment and a home spa treatment. Sometimes a home spa treatment could be better, but there's a reason we pay for these extraordinary experiences around the world as well. But what I would say is we just need to do it. If it's a free experience, something we've already paid for, something that's part and parcel of our gym membership, or something we've been given for Christmas, we just need to really give ourselves that little bit of space and that little bit of love and compassion to do the healing. But if there's a destination spa that's calling you, again, it's about making the time, using the money, using the resources to just do whatever it is, whatever form healing takes for us right now, today. So if we don't have the money, we don't have the time, honestly, do a little home spa thing. If you have got the resources, say you might be in a position where you suddenly have a lot of time and a lot of money, well, maybe now's the time to do it. Because honestly, right now, I look back at the times when I did have the time and the money and I did have those incredible experiences, like the Mandarin Oriental in Hong Kong. I'm going to mention some other spas actually, because I feel I'm giving the MO a little bit too much. The Peninsula in Bangkok was also an incredible experience. I'm just trying to think of some more ones that are really amazing. I've mentioned quite a few of them in other podcasts, and I'm blanking now as well. Jivita Ayurveda, I've mentioned already. And Carey's Manor in Brockenhurst in England. So that's near Southampton in New Forest. That is an amazing spa. That's got loads of stuff. And some of the best spas for value are the Centre Park spas. So if you have a Centre Parks near you in England, those are really, really great value spas as well. And just trying to think. Yeah, if you check out my website, you can find some more places and some more spas. If you're going anywhere near Morocco, you'll be spoilt for choice. Just trying to give you some more really, really amazing ones. I think when I was in China, what I found is any hotel would get a local massage therapist in to come and give me a massage in the hotel, and they were amazing. And that was the same in Japan as well. Just ask the hotel. If you've got a trip booked and you're going somewhere amazing in this year, What you can also do is email the hotel in advance and ask them for their recommendations. Okay, so maybe they've got a spa already in the hotel and they can tell you about that. Because some of them you do need to book in advance, because they're just, if they're really amazing, sometimes they need to be booked in advance. And if they don't have a spa in the hotel, then they can also give you some recommendations. Some of the best spa massages I've had, I stayed in a hotel in Naples in Florida, and I wasn't planning to have a massage, but when I got there, the journey had taken me so long. I'd been sat in the car and I was like, my spine was all crunched up, and I literally went to the front desk and said, I need an emergency massage. I need it stat. Somebody needs to massage me, otherwise I'm not going to be able to get in the car tomorrow. And I had a guy come to my hotel room with his own table, give me an amazing massage. Nothing funny, really great massage. And like straighten my spine out so that I could sleep and then I could get in the car the next day. And I don't know what I would have done without that as well. So sometimes those amazing experiences can happen just because you are somebody on the front desk. And I would definitely give that as one of my top tips for traveling and going to spas, is just, ask for help and ask people on the front desk of a hotel, what are your recommendations? It's also how I found some of the best restaurants and places to eat as well. So, trust the people who are taking care of you to really look after you and to help you to have an amazing trip, an amazing experience. Okay, I hope that helps. A bit of and I think the thing is, don't get too hung up on the names of spas. If you think it's a destination spa, a home spa, a resort spa, a day spa, a hotel, there's lots of different names, and ultimately, it doesn't really matter too much sometimes, because even if it's, say, a resort spa, a lot of times they will accept people coming in who aren't staying in the hotel. That's another one of my best tips. Some destination spas, definitely, they're only going to accept people who are staying there, who are having a whole package. Some places that are really famous, like, the Body Holiday and places like that. But a lot of really, really great spas, like Mandarin Oriental, which I keep naming, or places like the Peninsula, lots of other spas. They might be in a hotel, but they're very, very happy to take your money. They're always happy to take your money. All right, you take care, and please take the time to look after yourself. And I am going to try and do better to do the same and take more time out to look after myself and do whatever I can to be healthy and happy, because that's what we all want, isn't it? To be happy and healthy. So we just need to do the work to do as much as we can so that we can be. All right, you take care. Speak soon. Bye-bye.